flash sale ever offered by 1-800-Flowers.com. 60% off gift packs, arrangements, bouquets. 1-800-Flowers.com. Put in the code HERD. We've had Drew Brees stop by today and Eli Manning. Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, will also drop by in the last hour. Waiting for Le'Veon Bell, shows or no shows, we're not quite sure yet. Eli Manning was on earlier today. And when I've had quarterbacks on this week, I had Russell Wilson, and he talked about facing Philadelphia. The quarterbacks we've had on so far this week have had great games against Philadelphia. Russell Wilson chewed him up. Eli Manning chewed him up twice. Now, his defense couldn't make any stops, and Philadelphia won those games because Philadelphia's a better team. That's why they're here and why the Giants didn't win any games. But both Russell Wilson faced him and chewed him up, and Eli faced him twice and chewed him up. And I had him on earlier today, and I said, what's the key against Philadelphia's defense?
Sometimes, you're a division opponent. You play them every year, and you just have a good feel for what they're going to be playing. A little bit of zone, but we really hit a couple guys in stride through the zone to hit a couple big plays, a couple double moves, some slant and goes. But we didn't hold the ball real long. Their defense line is very good. I wouldn't call them a risky defense in the sense, they don't blitz much, but you do have to get the ball out on time. You can't hold it real long. And, you just can't, they try to take away the run by putting the safety in the box and really challenge you to throw the football.
So Ben McAdoo and the New York Giants twice carved up this defense with an inferior offensive line and no running backs. And New England's not going to be able to move the ball. Okie dokie. I'll take New England 31, Philadelphia 21. By the way, over 70% of the bets by Joe Sixpack are on Philadelphia. Vegas has won 25 of the last 27 Super Bowls against the public. Okay. Second thing is LeBron James. So there was a story that came out yesterday, and I told Christine I was going to do a LeBron-free day. By the way, some of these days I come to work and I want to talk about LeBron. I've told you I have LeBron Cleveland fatigue. LeBron or somebody in his party planted a story that, this was ESPN reported that LeBron would be willing, sign and trade, to sit down with Golden State and talk about him.
Don't you think if any story comes out about LeBron from his camp, LeBron approved it? I have a hard time believing that one of those guys would leak something without LeBron's approval.
Now, I think you're probably right. Yes, I think you're probably right. Because they're his friends, too. They wouldn't try to screw over their buddy, right? But I don't think the story has much validity. I think there's very little chance he would go there. But LeBron today was not in a good mood, and he said, dumb story, I don't want to talk about it.
The Golden State conversation is a non-story. All the other conversations is a non-story. My focus right now is on this team and trying to figure out how we can get back to a fourth NBA Finals and compete for a championship. For the rest of the season, don't ask me about nothing else, no other team, unless we're competing against them the next night, or you want to ask me about a highlight that happened the night before. Don't ask me about being on a team, on another team, because it's unfair to my teammates here, my 14 teammates that we come and work hard for, the coaching staff and this fan base.
Oh, geez.
They seem very serious right there.
Then stop subtweeting and tell your team to not leak things out like this.
Have you ever thought, though, because, it's a different world, what would Michael Jordan have been like with social media? I always contend we would have hated Michael.
I don't think he would have been on social media.
He punched teammates, and we would have found out about it, and we would have hated that. It's interesting. Listen, I think LeBron, I said this to you a couple weeks ago. I look at Donald Trump's policies. I don't care about his Twitter because other presidents didn't have Twitter. So I don't judge somebody on Twitter. Like Jason Whitlock and I have the same theory on Twitter. Judge our work, laugh at our tweets. Mm-hmm. I don't think it means anything. If you just took away the social media stuff of LeBron, it just didn't exist, Twitter, social media. My point being is that previous presidents and previous stars didn't have them. And so I just never take all the cryptic social media stuff. I think it's out of utter boredom. And I think if any other star in the 70s, 80s, 90s would have been sitting there in a Marriott on a Tuesday night in Milwaukee, they would have done the same thing.
Okay, then let's just take the leak then, that he would want to go to the Warriors.
Oh, I don't think it's a possibility. Like 5%.
No, I know, but why is he getting up and saying, "Oh, don't ask me about anything else"? Okay, fine, then stop leaking those kind of stories. Tell your team not to leak those stories.
I think he is dramatic. I think social media is a dangerous. It's a loaded gun for bored people. And I think and I've said this before about travel. When you're in the NBA, so you get into town at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and you go to the hotel, hopefully, and sleep. And then you get up for a 10 or 11 o'clock shoot around. Then you go back to your hotel and you take a nap. And then you get up at like 3:30. And you don't go to the arena until like 5:30. Unless you're watching a lot of Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks movies, you go to your social media. And that's what you do. And by the way, have you ever noticed how often stuff leaks in the afternoon? It's not after games. It's early morning as you're taking the bus ride to shoot around. You're checking the scores. Or it's afternoon. You wake up in the nap. You're checking all your Twitter stuff. I find that it happened. I've seen people in the media ruin their careers. I've seen presidents make fools of themselves. I've seen pro athletes do it. So I try not to judge. My favorite part of LeBron to the Warriors is Jason Whitlock's reaction yesterday on Speak for Yourself. He was so bothered by this.
If he went to the Warriors, I would lose all respect for LeBron James. No way his name should be attached to this rumor. I'd rather have rumors about Sacramento than the Golden State Warriors. I would puke if this happened, and it would just be terrible.
I think that, to me, it's just absolutely funny. Car shopping's confusing. Dealer price, list price, invoice. What does that stuff mean? It means $3,000 potentially off MSRP. New or used car. Go to the TrueCar certified dealers. TrueCar.com. So the game is Sunday. It's 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 Eastern. I have laid it out for you. I want to be right when I make picks. You know, I'm not a guy that goes out and picks teams. Like, for instance, I said last year, Golden State's going to crush LeBron and the Cavs in the finals. I've said this year, LeBron has no chance to win a championship. There may be people, LeBron James, Tom Brady, USC football, Sam Darnold, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to go out and make a fool of myself. I like Sam Darnold. I think he needs to go to the NFL, get better. I'd love to see him sit for a year, then come out and play, and then I think he'll be a star. I'm not going to make stuff up and say he's going to walk in and take over the league. I'm not going to make stuff up and say LeBron's going to beat Golden State. I'm also not going to say New England's going to blow out Philadelphia just because I'm a homer. In the end, this is the first time in a while I've seen New England in a football game with a really good football team, and I think New England's going to win this by over 4.5 points, which is the spread. And I think it because I've seen this game. I saw him play a great Seattle defense. I saw him play a supposed great Jacksonville defense and lose Gronk. I have seen them against a red-hot Atlanta team. I've seen this game before, and there is no doubt in my mind that New England's schematically, quarterback, head coach experience has advantages. I do like Philadelphia's front defensively, but I'll say it again. We are undermining New England's win over Jacksonville, and we are undervaluing New England's defensive front. They are around the league lead in sacks. So I don't think the proposed advantage for the Eagles' defensive front is the advantage people think. How many times did you hear Calais Campbell's name for Jacksonville 2 weeks ago? You didn't. You didn't. He was a non-factor, and he's their great pass rusher. And in honor of this game, our director of bits, Andrew Sampson, released a new song.
Oh, yes.
Brady and Belichick. Let's just play it for you before the end of the hour.
Brady and Belichick, I heard there's a rift between you two. Well, forget what Marvin said. Ooh, I know the sweetest way to heal that rift. Brady had a rough start to the season, but now you're pleasing New England and really got the special way of coaching, always showing no emotion. Now I've got this feeling you get Super Bowl healing, Super Bowl healing. I checked the Vegas line and took the patch Sing it, coach.
Super Bowl is good for me. Super Bowl is something that's good for me.
New England 31, Philadelphia 21. Dak Prescott next hour. If you could get $1,000 in less than 48 hours, would you want to do it? Go to taxslayer.com, taxslayer.com. In as little as 48 hours, no upfront fees. Taxslayer.com. E-file your taxes. All right, final hour coming up. Super Bowl Friday. Dak Prescott.